this is Frozen 2 fanboy Dustin 4 here, and welcome back to another video. And for this video, I'm going to be talking about my favorite show of all time, Stranger Things. And I know some of you guys thought that The Queen's Gambit was my favorite show of all time because it was for like more than a year. But now I just think there are better shows than Queen's Gambit. And now, like, after seeing Stranger Things season 4 and then rewatching the previous two seasons, yeah, I can definitely confirm that Stranger Things is my favorite show of all time. I'm gonna be reviewing this show, specifically seasons 2 and 3 this October, but sadly, I don't fancy reviewing season 1. Even though season 1 is great, I just prefer seasons 2 and 3 and 4, especially 4. So yeah, Stranger Things is my favorite show, but easily the best thing about Stranger Things, which is pretty much my favorite aspect in all of film, it is the characters. Yeah, I feel like the characters are the most important quality in a movie for me, because you can't have you cannot tell a story without characters. I mean, some movies do have characters without a story, and it works very well, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, for example. But yeah, so characters is the most important, because if you don't connect with these characters, then you won't connect with the story. Then you're not gonna be invested in the story, and that's why Stranger Things works so well, because it's because I absolutely love every single one of these characters. No, for the most part, yeah, there's some characters I hate, but yeah, without further ado, if you want to know my top 10 list, then just keep watching. And by the way, I'll have the honorable mentions put in the description, so please read the description for my honorable mentions. Okay, well, let's start the list, shall we? Starting up list at number 10 is Joyce Byers, the mother of Will and Jonathan. Yeah, I absolutely love Joyce. She's a really great mother, and probably she's in my top 5 best media mothers in movies and TV. I really like that she really cares, and she wouldn't she doesn't want to rest until like until her kids are safe, when her kids are in danger. And I really like her chemistry. I like her romance between Hopper. I think both Joyce and Hopper have such a perfect chemistry with each other, and especially in season 4 when they're both interacting. I love seeing them interact. And that's what I love about Joyce, is that she wouldn't rest until she's able to save someone she loves. Like, at first in season 1, she lost Will, and she knows Will is still alive, and she wouldn't rest until Will is found. That's really a caring mother. Even though I admit Joyce can get annoying at times in Stranger Things season 1, but and in season 4, and yeah, so that's what I love about Joyce, is that she's just really sweet. She's just a sweet mother, and she can be a total badass at times. And I absolutely love seeing her together with Hopper. So yeah, that's all I can see. Number 9 is Robin. Robin is a character that was first introduced in Stranger Things season 3, and she was in my two favorite Stranger Things seasons, season 3 and season 4. Yeah, I think Robin is really funny, and she's Robin's just really funny. And honestly, I cannot decide which season she's better at, but maybe a smidge. I give the slighter edge to season 4. Like, I absolutely love her in season 3, like her being introduced, and I absolutely ship. I actually ship Steve and Robin for some reason, but I'm aware that Robin is a lesbian, so that's why they're not a couple. I totally understand that, but I really like Sherry in season 4. Like she has a really great chemistry with Nancy, and I absolutely love it when she in the episode Dear Billy, which by the way is easily my favorite Stranger Things episode ever. Like when she literally gave a free speech to the professor just to let them in, even though she and Nancy were supposed to be imposters. Yeah, I love her. Yeah, Steve, Nancy, and Robin are such a perfect trio, and I absolutely love seeing them interact with one another. And Robin is just the weakest of those three. Yeah, Steve and Nancy will be mentioned later on the list. Yeah. Coming in at number 8 is Eddie Munson. So yeah, Eddie Munson is a new character from season 4. He's one of those one and done characters, like one of those new characters that was introduced and then was suddenly killed off. So yeah, I feel bad for Eddie throughout the season. Yeah, and that's really what makes his character like that's what makes his character worth connecting to, worth relating to. Like if you relate to Eddie, I can totally do that. I also do relate to Eddie, especially like on social media when like people see me as like the villain, even though I'm not. But yeah, Eddie is just really one of the more relatable characters. Like because I really feel bad for what Eddie has to go through. It's just really yeah, it's just really powerful stuff. Yeah, seeing that no one in the town would believe what really happened to Chrissy, and they all thought that Eddie murdered Chrissy when he didn't, and then but the main Hawkins kids are the only ones who believed in Eddie, who believed Eddie in the real truth that that was Vecna who murdered Chrissy, not him, and even if no one in the town like got to believe Eddie, Eddie still wanted to be a hero. He still steps up to be the hero of Hawkins, even though like without anyone recognizing it. Is that's especially the case when Eddie sacrificed himself to save everyone else by getting himself killed and then death. Yeah, his death is really emotional, and yeah, he Eddie is a fan favorite character in season 4, and I can totally see why. Cause yeah, Eddie's just really likable. Number 7 is Will Byers. Will Byers is one of the hearts of Stranger Things. Stranger Things as yeah, he's actually going to be the main character in the final season. And I'm definitely down for it. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention I did my top 10 favorite Stranger Things characters on Instagram, and it was completely different than now. So yeah. There's a lot of opinion changes to be found in this video, but yeah, I regret not putting Will in the top 10 because Will is just really underrated. He deserves more recognition. Like, yeah, especially when he's gonna be the main character. I hope that he's gonna be a great main character, and him being the main character can make me appreciate him more. Yeah. Will is a part of the center in Stranger Things because you see him traumatized in season 2. I think Will is the main character in season 2. He's pretty much the most important character because he's traumatized, and Will can see the mind flare, so yeah, he's pretty much, that's how important he is. And then in season 1 he vanished, and everyone must find him. So yeah, but I think his best season is in season 4 because season 4 is when Will became the biggest heart of this became, I mean, the biggest heart as the character. Well, I don't know how to say it properly, but yeah, Will Byers has such deep connection to Jonathan. He expresses his love for Jonathan in the finale, and then they both like have this emotional hug that will make you tear up. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love like how matured he is now. And yeah, so yeah, he went from someone who's always scared and traumatized to someone who's mature, who's matured and brave. So yeah, Will definitely deserves to be on this list. Number 6 is Lucas. Lucas used to be my favorite male character in Stranger Things, but now he's not the best, but I still love him. Yeah, Lucas is Lucas is just a really good character. I don't have much to say about him, but I absolutely love the actor Caleb playing him. I think he should be Miles Morales in MCU Spider-Man 4. I definitely be down for that. But Lucas is such a heart-wrenching character. Especially his with the performance and his character arc. Like he wants to get back to Max. I mean, since him and Max broke up, which by the way I don't get why they broke up. Yeah, seeing him seeing him wishing to get back to Max is just really good. I know it's an understatement, but I actually don't know what to say about him. It's just really good. Like the acting, the character arc, like him wanting to get back to Max, and even telling Max like, I'm right here. Like, no, you don't need a letter. I'm right here, right here. Just tell me what's going on. Like, and yeah, I'm sure you know what I mean by that. And then he really and he was almost killed for some reason, but yeah, he do anything to stay alive in order to save Max. So yeah, I think he's a perfect boyfriend for Max, and yeah, he definitely deserves to be on the list. Coming in number 5 is Steve Harrington, the fan favorite Stranger Things character nowadays. Remember back then in Stranger Things season 1 when everyone hated Steve and wanted him to die? Well, Yeah. Now people love Steve. Out of all the Stranger Things characters, Steve is the one who changed the most from one of the most hated Stranger Things characters to one of the most. I mean, to one of the most loved Stranger Things character, and I can totally see why. I can totally see why because Steve later on like yeah, he progresses to become like very to become a very nice person and especially towards the kids. I love how he works together with the kids more than the teenagers, but he still like has a great chemistry with Nancy and Robin. Yeah, I still ship Steve and Robin, but Steve and Nancy do work well as a couple. And yeah, yeah, I think Steve has a really good character arc as well. And he's also a badass as well, especially when I mean, especially when he hits the bats with the oars, and he fought against the bats using oars, and yeah. That was just badass, and yeah, he's really a popular character, but he's able to look up to his faults and realize that he should change, and he really changes. So without actually apologizing, I don't remember if he even apologized or not. So yeah. And also like I also love it in Stranger Things season two when he fought against Billy. He was such a badass. So yeah, nothing much else to say about Steve. Coming number four is another fan favorite character and my favorite male character in Stranger Things, Jim Hopper. Yeah, Jim Hopper. I get why many people consider Jim Hopper as the best Stranger Things character, as he is one of the front and centers of Stranger Things, and I personally consider him as the main character in the first season. As like he does most of the work in the finding Will Byers and yeah he does and he pretty much has the most screen time as well. So yeah, and yeah, I love that Hopper stays the same character, and there's no change in his character. Maybe very little change. And especially in season four, that's probably the only time I think he changed. Going from going from someone fat to someone thin, and yeah, that doesn't match. I love how he's a father figure to 11. Yeah. Yeah, even though he had the fight with 11 in the Stranger season 2, it's pretty much 11's fault, and yeah, he's a great cop, and a great father figure to 11, like what I said. And I think the best scene with him is either like when he sacrificed them himself in Stranger Things season 3. He sacrificed himself to stop the machine before it blows up the mall. Either that or in season 4 when he how do I say it? When he fought against the Demogorgon. I think him versus the Demogorgon is his best scene, because like he's just yeah he's brave, and he's a badass, he's badass as well, especially when he actually chopped off the Demogorgon's head with a sword. Yeah, that was badass as well. Like, Hopper is just a badass, and I can totally see why people say he's the best character. And spoiler alert, the top three are female characters. So yeah, I'm sure not if you guys are surprised by that, because I'm a female character lover. Coming number three is one of the most underrated characters of Stranger Things, Nancy Wheeler. Yeah, I don't get the hate for Nancy. I think Nancy's just really good. And she's pretty much my crush in Stranger Things season 1. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I think Nancy Wheeler is just a really smart and badass character. She's probably the smartest Stranger Things character, and in Stranger Things season 4, she's such a great leader to she's great the Hawkins kids. She's great at leading this investigation. So yeah, I mean, I get why, and yeah, I don't get why people say Nancy is a bad girlfriend to Steve. I mean, she was just drunk in season 2. That's why Nancy said that Steve is a BS boyfriend. But most of the time, it's just Steve's fault that him and Nancy always have a pretty bad relationship at times. So yeah, I kind of feel bad for Nancy Wheeler. She doesn't do a lot in Stranger Things season 3, so that's why I consider season 3 her weakest season. But her best season, in my opinion, is definitely season 4, when, like what I said, she leads the investigation to finding out who murdered Chrissy, and finding Vecna. And Nancy's just such a badass. I think that's her strongest season. Yeah, and my favorite thing that Nancy did was when she shot Vecna with a gun. Yeah, she just shot him in the final battle. Yeah, Nancy's just a badass as well. So yeah, and she's definitely one of my Stranger Things crushes. And yeah, coming in number two is the main character in Stranger Things 11. Like yeah, she's a true main character. Even though like the movie does try to make the supporting characters also main character. 11 is pretty much the center of Stranger Things. Yeah, because well she's powerful, she's badass, and she's pretty much key to to the storylines, and she's pretty much yeah key to the conflicts. She's key to the climax and the resolution. Yeah, 11 is pretty much the hero. If I don't know how they would have defeated the villains so without the 11's help, like with the Mind Flayer and Vecna, and yeah, so yeah, 11 is such a badass, perfectly portrayed by Millie Bobby Brown, and I think she has really good power. She's basically like Elsa if you think about it. Elsa just with kinetic powers. Like if Elsa had the Jedi Force powers, that's basically how I describe 11. And yeah, I think 11's best season. 11 was at her strongest in Stranger Things season, the first three episodes of Stranger Things season 4, where like she got bullied and by Angela, which Angela's the word is my least favorite Stranger Things character, and then um yeah, and then you feel bad for her when everyone was teasing her. Well, actually, you know what I think about? I think her strongest season is definitely in season 3, where like she's fully grown from a kid to a to a kind of a teenager, I guess, and then she has her long hair. Yeah, I like 11's long hair way better than her short hair, but yeah, I mean, even though I love her in Stranger Things season 4, the first season 4 overall, whether it's with the long hair or the haircut, I think Stranger Things season 3 is her best season because she was a badass the most, and she had and she's still learning this world. She's learning about this world by her new best friend, which I'll definitely get to in a bit. Yeah, she's learning about human life, and not just her power life, her fantasy life, if you can call it that. And yeah, I really love 11. She's and I can see why she's the central character, and I also love Millie Bobby Brown. I'm actually really excited for it in Enola Holmes too. So yeah, but everyone knows what my favorite character is. It's obvious and there's no contest. My number one favorite Stranger Things character is Max Mayfield. Yeah, did you guys see that coming? Are you guys surprised? I mean, who in the world is surprised about this? Yeah, Max is the greatest Stranger Things character, and there is no competition. Yeah, I just adore Max. She's literally one of my favorite characters of all time. In fact, she is my favorite character of all time, tied with both Anna and Elsa. Yeah, so I love every single thing about Max. Especially like when yeah, even in season 2 when people call her a brat. Yeah, so here's why Max is my favorite character, because she's just really charming. She's a very and I actually love how she actually loved to make friends immediately, and yeah, especially like when it comes to her sarcastic tone. She hates the boys at first. Like Lucas, Will, those Mike, those boys, because like they were like stalking her since Max was Max with the arcade game. And yeah, Max was just really sassy in season 2. Like, and she didn't take a crap about what anyone said, but she's still a badass, especially when she literally fought. She literally injected her own brother, and then she has this like really like bond with Lucas, which Max and Lucas are definitely my favorite Stranger Things couple. No competition. Sorry, Steve and Nancy, but yeah. So Stranger Things season 3 Max is also like, and uh, each time a season progresses, Max gets better, and I absolutely love her in Stranger Things season 3 when she literally when her best friend is 11. Her 11 were best friends from Stranger Things season 3 all the way up to season 4 when the Max literally teaches teaches 11 human life, and especially she teaches 11 about how boyfriend's relationship girlfriend relationship can be toxic sometimes, and like she even reads she she even reads 11 her like a bunch of DC comics, maybe Marvel comics, but I don't remember. But I know like she read the Wonder Woman to 11, and I think Max and 11 are without a doubt the best Stranger Things duo ever, and there's no contest about that. Yeah, I just love their friendship so much. But but season 4 Max just blew me away. She didn't just blew me away. She blew everyone away. Yeah, because like Max is pretty much the main character of Stranger Things season 4, and I think she's a well deserved the main character, and yeah, since Sadie Sink gave a perfect portrayal of Max, who has been traumatized by Vecna since she was affected by Vecna and by Vecna, and I think she has a perfect character arc throughout, and Max is pretty much the key to Vecna. Without Max, they wouldn't have succeeded this mission. So yeah, I love Max. I love Sadie Sink. Sadie Sink is one of the best actresses of all time, and yeah, Max is just a perfect character throughout. So yeah, I don't understand why people don't like Max. They say Max is overrated. Well, no, she's not. In fact, I think Max is more underrated. Yeah, so yeah. With that said, Max is easily my number one favorite Stranger Things character ever, and no other characters in Stranger Things come close. Yeah, and by the way, last thing I want to say, screw the Emmys for not nominating Sadie Sink for Stranger Things. Hopefully, Sadie Sink gets nominated for the Whale to make up for that. So that's all for my best Stranger Things characters. Who's your favorite Stranger Things character? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Rogue One: A Star Wars Story leading up to Andor. Bye, guys.